So welcome back again, those who are going to join. I'm seeing people having problems with their the network, but they'll join us. And some people can also get it on YouTube, but they'll join us. Welcome back again. I was trying to say in the last session, we are trying to understand that God has given man 6,000 year period in which he should work. So Exodus 35 again, verse 2, we said, 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holiday, a Sabbath of the rest of the Lord, the Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever shall do the work, whosoever doth work, therein shall be put to death. So 6 days, Deuteronomy 5:13, we mentioned, 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work. 6 days shall thou labor to turn people from righteousness to wickedness and do all your work. But we said the 6 day period has the limit. It has the limit. Man's period on earth to do whatever business we do, science, build kingdoms, build countries, has a limit. So this is speaking of a race. I said the Adamic race. I'm just trying to summarize before I move on. This is speaking of a race. The enemies of righteousness have been given 6,000 years. Our mind, when I say that, I'm not pointing at people. I'm not so petty like others who say, no, a black man is God, a white man is the devil, or an Indian, whatever. No. These minds are the Adamic mind and the Christ mind are all in ourselves, in our minds. That's why Paul calls them the inner man and the outer man. So the great arch deceiver of the people, their work shall be done in 6 days, but on the seventh day shall be Sabbath of rest. Whoever does work shall be put to death. So rest from your evil. 7,000 will be rest from humanity's evil inflicted on man. Troublemaking and murderous ways. So if you work on that day, you shall be put to death mentally. You cannot work or you cannot do a work of evil in the 7,000 year period. That's what we mentioned in the earlier presentation. So the Lord will kill you for upsetting the peace in the day which is not yours. Remember, your day is 6,000 years. In that 1,000 year, after your 6,000 year, that 1,000 year, which is sometimes referred to as the millennium year, will be for God to work, not you. Deuteronomy 5:14. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou or thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy ox, nor thy ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. So, no more shall you have rule over the people. That's what he's saying. Humanity will not have rule over people. No more shall you have rule over the fishes of the sea, over the animals and the beasts of the earth. Remember, all the fowls of the air. But in the beginning, when God gave Adam dominion, he says, thou shalt have dominion over the fishes, the cattle. So that rule was for 6,000 years. So he tells them, so 6 days you will work. 6,000 years you will labor. On the seventh day, which is the 7,000 year period, your rule will be ended. Like I said, all the prophets are books. But man has become in this world, that's why his rule must end, has become what we call a prodigal son. You know, I used to think prodigal was in the Bible, but there's no word prodigal in the Bible. But it's to explain the state of a man. Just Google quickly and tell us what prodigal means, the word prodigal. You'll be amazed. We thought it looked like it's a guy who went and then the father felt sorry for him. What does the word prodigal mean? Before I move on, have you Googled it? Prodigal?
Yes, I have. Just a second.
Prodigal.
Okay, so the first, there are two interpretations. Copy. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Have you found it?
Oh, yes, I have. So the first one says, spending money or using resources freely and recklessly, wastefully extravagant.
Yes, that's all. That's what it means. Prodigal means a person who spends money in recklessness, in a reckless, extravagant way. And that's what man has been in these 6,000 years. Spending God's resources, treating God's resources in a reckless and extravagant way. If you look at the story of the story we have entitled as humanity as prodigal, because there's no word prodigal there in the Bible, but we termed it as such. Luke 15:11 says, and he said, a certain man had two sons. The younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me, the spirit, the physical mind. And he divided unto them his living. God gave him, I've given you dominion over the earth. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. You see, reckless living. That's what man has done to this earth. That's why I told you before, we have got corona, not because God is judging us. Remember, the Bible says, let no man say when they are being judged, the Lord has judged me. Every man judges himself. Even Jesus Christ told us that I have not come to judge the world. Even me, I have not come to judge you. The words which I speak shall judge you. I showed you the cause of things like pestilences, things like corona. We read in the book of Job 37, I think, 37 or 35, where we were saying, God is going to unleash the snows. He says, when you see the snows melt, then you begin to understand that God is unleashing his wrath. So also, man has destroyed the environment, causing the earth, the snow in the earth to melt. So when you melt the snow, you create an atmosphere on earth conducive for pandemics. Then you go around and blame God. So it's your righteous behavior, it's your reckless and extravagant way. You are a prodigal son, and your days are numbered. That's what you are saying. And he divided unto them his living. Okay, he went on his righteous living. Verse 14, Luke 15:14. And when he had spent all there arose a mighty famine in that land. Remember, it was his reckless behavior that brought them the famine in that land and began to be in want. So you begin to understand these things, that we need to align ourselves to the truth which stands on its own. So I think Mwape also alluded to this. We are saying the Bible is the book of prophecy that must be fulfilled. It's not a historical book. Someone came to ask me, so Pastor, did Moses live? Was there a real Jesus? Stop asking me petty questions like that. We have dealt with that. You can look at those recordings on YouTube and you find it clear. We will show you that the Bible is a book of prophecy, and that prophecy must be fulfilled. The problem is we live in a world, we have lost who we are. We remember we are living in the 6,000 year period, a time when the evil mind is turning us from righteousness into evil. We are obsessed by the rich man's riches. All we want to do is go to school and get a degree and get a lot of money and enjoy life. By the time we know it, we are old and we're still sad. We are obsessed by the rich man's riches. But what you don't know is that you cannot compete with Adam. God gave him dominion over the earth. For example, Adam owns your clothes. He made your clothes you are wearing. He made the car you are driving. He made the phone you're using to join our household platform on Zoom. He made your laptop, he made your computer, he made your mansions, name it. He made all those things. But the third part is that you are obsessed by that. You are obsessed by Adam. Adam in his 6,000 years has managed to fool you. But you don't understand that you have the spiritual mind in you, which you should be obsessed with, because this brings about eternity. So these guys are so, Adam is so rich because God said so. He's so rich that you can't match up with him. That mind. They have so much money that they put it on horses and see which one runs faster. And then you, a poor man like you and me, you go and bet your last money on the horses. They make clubs because they have got money. You, a poor man, you go with your last money you got for with your salary, you go in this pub and just waste your money. They own the money. They can use it in any way they want, but you can't. That's why we're saying we need to change your mind. You make $10 a week and you get a loan of $100 to buy a car because you want to match up with a rich man. Be wise. Learn to live the earth. Remember, we are on earth to learn the earth and grow. Learn to survive. Learn to save. Remember, learn to focus on the truth. Learn to focus to change your mind into the spiritual mind. Because these things you see will end. The 6,000-year period is coming to an end. We're going into the 7,000-year period. But we can't go there by magic. Man, remember, God created man in 6 days. He has been creating us for 6,000 years. He's forming this man. And then he rested. God deputized himself in man. So man must be formed in 6,000 years. In these 6,000 years, God is forming us to be a man who's going to have a spiritual mind in the 6,000 years. But remember, he's forming us in the environment, which is the environment of Adam, of an Adamic mind. But remember again, Paul showed us that this is for a reason. Romans 9, verse 19 to 22 says that God has put us in frustration, not because we are willing, but because there is a reason. Because he says God has put us in frustration, not because we are willing, but for a reason. The next verse says, because all creatures shall be saved. 6,000 years period, Adam is telling us from righteousness to evil. But if you are wise, you are being formed, because God is creating a God man in these 6,000 years. That's why this man begins to think like Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1. The book of Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1 says, cast thy bread upon the waters. Be wise, save. Remember, you need to grow up body, soul, and spirit. Ecclesiastes 11:1 says, cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Meaning you save. You don't go following a rich man. The rich man made that money. He doesn't need to go and look for it. You like I said, you earn $10 a month. You will go and get a loan of $1,000 or $100 to get a car to look like a rich man. Then you get in debt for the rest of your life. You are paying mortgage, you are paying loans. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Verse 2 says, give a portion to 7, meaning learn to survive. We are on earth to learn the earth. Save. Try your luck in different ways to create your peace. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. You work in a good company and you're getting good money. You are getting 50,000 per month. After that company goes away, because that's Adam's company, it's not your company, it can go away. Then you become poor and you start now gnashing your teeth and saying, remembering that you are getting 50,000, which you misused on pubs and holidays and women. Verse 3 says, if the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the trees fall towards the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. Verse 4, he that observeth the wind shall not sow. No, me, I'm waiting to find a job. That's when I'll make money. You are waiting for Adam to employ you. But remember, Adam, God has created the earth, and Adam has been used by God to create opportunities for you. You can do other things. I told you that even if life becomes so difficult, you go in the ghetto. You are supposed to be that guy in the ghetto who has the biggest kantemba. So don't observe the winds. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the cloud shall not reap. There's a proverb in the book of Proverbs which says, a lazy man will say, I cannot go in the field. There is a lion in the street, it will eat me. Then you will remain in the house and starve. But if you are wise, you get out and kill that lion so that you clear your way into your field. And besides, Psalms tells us that man's business on earth, it says, man goeth in the field in the morning, and in the evening he returns. So you begin to understand what's your purpose on earth and what are your activities. Your activities are not going to go to the club or going to do what to go and do to imitate a rich man. In the wrong land, you are wasting your life and your resources. Verse 5, as thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb, or her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh it all. So just trust the truth, which is God. Sometimes you might not understand. Just work. That's why we say work and don't worry about things you cannot change. You might not understand the times. It must be a bad time to invest. Invest. You never know, there could be a breakthrough and you break even. So in the morning sow thy seed. In the evening withhold not thine hand. For thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. 7, truly the light is sweet, and the pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness. Remember, every man has the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh is vanity. You know, when you are young, you are getting 50,000. Life is good. You can pay your school fees for the children. And you have noticed, even in our land, politicians have had billions of kwacha. But the moment they lose election, the dark days before them, they begin to suffer. All their wealth goes away. Because they don't understand how to live and how to survive. Because the dark days are coming, folks, for everyone. So if you haven't fixed your days now, that's why when you work, you are saving and preparing for your dark days. When you're old, when you can't be employed anymore. You see? Ecclesiastes 12 again. I don't know why I have diverged to go that way. Maybe I'm helping someone. Ecclesiastes 12:1 says, remember now thy creator in the days of your youth. The creator means the truth, the word, the wisdom, the guidance. When you are young, because remember, childhood is vanity. We spend our time living with that girlfriend and leaving our wife. All the days of your time you are buying I've seen young men now building houses, flats for girlfriends while the wife is at home suffering. Then afterwards, when he's old, he comes home to suffer with the wife. So remember your creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, because you messed up so much. Now the dark days have come. You start boring and feeling painful, have no pleasure in life. Verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, save, work right, do the right thing, or the clouds return after the rain. Verse 3, in the day when the keepers, remember the Bible is prophetic. The keepers there are your eyes. The dark days is when your body begins to crumble. You are getting old. You didn't prepare for yourself. Those are the dark days, and they are coming for each one of us. So in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, your eyes can't see anymore. They are weak, they are trembling. And the strong men shall bow themselves. Your bones are weak. And the grinders, your teeth, are not strong anymore. Cease, because they are few. and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Your sight, it becomes bad. You see, we go on. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. You cannot have any opportunity. You are old. No one wants to employ you. No one wants to help you. You didn't save up for the dark days. When the sound of the grinding is low, even you can't eat. Your teeth are painful, and you shall rise up at the voice of the bed. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Your ears can't listen to music anymore. They are becoming weak. Verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, fear begins to creep on you because you have wasted your life and your body is becoming weak. You begin to fear anything. And fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, but life will go on. And the grasshopper shall be a burden. Even a grasshopper flying near you will annoy you because life is bad for you. You want to slap it instead of trying to appreciate its wisdom. You see, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, because your body is now weakening out, because we all die. And the mourners go about the streets. You see? I hope this is making sense. I diverged a bit to talk about that, which is good. So, you want to follow Adam. He gives you a job, but he won't always be there to give you a job. So when he gives you a job, use it to make something for you which will help you in the time of the dark days. You must begin to do for yourself. That's what I'm saying. And that's what every human being who's oppressed needs. Like I said, emancipation of humanity is universal. When a black man was under slavery by a white man, for a black man to be where they are, there are systems, whether weak or not true, but those systems help them to begin to do for themselves. You saw black awakening, black awareness, black movements, they help them to do for themselves. So every person who is oppressed like you are, because you don't have everything we do, we wait for on the Adamic nature to give us a job. But as you are having this job, begin to do for yourself. You are a guest in Adam's world, in short. For now, you are a guest. You can be kicked out. They kick you out of your job. You'll be on the streets. You start suffering. But the problem is that you are so lazy that you comfort yourself with heaven. Brother, don't worry, to be okay in heaven. What is heaven? I showed you what heaven is. Heaven is the place you make. Is that ideal place which is righteous, which you make yourself. Heaven is the like you say in business, you need to reach your actualization. So heaven is what we are all looking to, something we want to actualize in our lives. That's these things we have discussed in other videos. You can look at them on YouTube. They're very enlightening. So Adam has made a lot of inventions. Why don't you get up and do something for yourself? Pick up something before he goes away. Put some corn, put some maize, put some millet, put some vegetables in the ground. Put some chicken in the chicken pan, some cows. Get a 1 acre land, grow some market gardening, put some vegetables, and you're going to eat forever. The problem is we don't realize that we are thieves of ourselves. We are actually thieves of ourselves. I hope this is making sense. I hope so. Is it making sense? Any questions before I move on again? Any questions? Anyone with a question or a contribution or an appreciation? Or I move on? Mwape, any question? Lumbuka, do you have any question? Or any addition, appreciation? Sometimes I would like to have a dialogue.
Maybe, yeah, probably just an appreciation of the concept of being able to do for ourselves. Especially that I think sometimes religion in general can make us feel that we are victims of circumstances, where you feel that somebody owes you some kind of a magic of something happening mysteriously to solve all your problems. So I'm just, I guess it's an appreciation of the part of the session where you spoke about how we need to do for ourselves, meaning we have the inbuilt ability to be able to do that, because if the Bible says that we are gods in whom the word came, and the ultimate Almighty God is a creator, and he deputized himself by giving Adam dominion.
Yes.
And we've seen what that has basically. We live in a world where we can point at what has been made, and definitely God didn't come here and make an airplane, for example, or a bus or a car, but those are inventions of man whom he gave dominion. So which means there's much more potential that lies in us than we think. And much of the time we allow ourselves to be victims of our own circumstances than realizing that we actually do have the potential to create the kind of environment we want to live in. And when somebody does that, we tend to think maybe they have some superstitious powers somewhere. And in our setting, we say, no, kapena wanafa kamwana wao business. All that is because we tend to think there's something superstitious about being able to create the kind of world or environment you want, you and yourself, your family, or whoever around you wants to live in. Yeah, that's just some kind of an addition on my part. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. That's very elaborate. So, like we're saying, this thing, it is what it is. It's not like, it's a truth which stands on its own. Any other person wants to say something, appreciate, or ask a question? Even those who have just joined us now, it's a platform where we can discuss these things, this truth, the way it is. Because like I showed you, Adam, which is the mind, Adam and the Christ, these are minds. The Adamic mind, which has been vested. Remember, Adam was given the dominion to rule over the earth, the sea, and the fowls. And we see this in the Western mind. They have managed to rule the world. But I've told you that Adam was only given the physical mandate. But Adam cannot teach you the spiritual side. You need the Son of Man. And I told you that the Son of Man is called the Son of Man. Every person who brought the message to you was the Son of Man. He's the Son of Man because you make him. Remember, the world, God is in his creation. God is truth. So I become the Son of Man because you made me. I interacted with you. I was born in this world. I learned your wisdom. I learned your knowledge. I learned the knowledge of God. So I'm the Son of Man, created by man. And then I begin to realize that God has put himself among us in his truth. And if we follow, and this truth is not a Christian truth or Islamic truth, it stands on its own. That's why Moses says, it is what it is. Go and tell them that I am that I am. It is what it is. It stands on its own. So any questions? I know I've spoken too much, or any addition before I continue a bit, because I think we'll be done in the next 7 minutes. So you're free to ask a question or say something in appreciation. Julius, does it make sense? Dennis, does it make sense?
Hello, this is
Yeah.
Julius. Yes, it's making a lot of sense in that way that most of us we are just joining for the first time, and I'm trying to catch it up, but it's making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying your session.
Yeah, no problem. And if you want to catch up on many things, after this, I'll share with you the YouTube link. You can just go and like, and there are a lot of videos. Every time we have these Sunday platforms at 9:30 up to 10:50, we always record and put it on YouTube. So all these things are on YouTube. You can catch them there and you make, yeah.
I appreciate.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Judy says it's making a lot of sense. He has sent a chat. Sorry, driving, will comment actively in due course. Valuable talk indeed. Gideon or Dennis, anyone wants to say something?
Yes, sir. On my side, I'm enjoying, and I don't have anything to contribute. Everything is on point.
Okay. Thank you very much. Dennis?
Yes, Rev. It's for me, it's truly eye-opening. I've never really looked at the scriptures this way, and I feel that it's a kind of word that liberates people and just gives them the keys to their own life.
Very true. Because remember, we are on earth to learn the earth and grow. Individual, every human being must walk this lonesome valley. They have to walk it by themselves. My father has to walk it by himself. That's why even when somebody kills a person, he has to walk that lonesome valley by himself. He will go to jail by himself. My father will grow old and go in his dark days by himself. So whatever he did, if he did not prepare for his dark days, he will be by himself. So any other contribution, Mwape? Can I give you a chance? So that, because I know we'll be cut off soon in the next 5 minutes, I can say a few words, but let me give you a chance, all of you, just to interact, because this is supposed to be a dialogue, not a monologue. Mwape?
Okay, thank you so much. I think, as people have mentioned, to say the topic has been eye-opening, and it also just provides, it gives us a different perspective into reality. And one thing for certain, and one thing that I came to appreciate as you were trying to teach us, is the aspect of someone being regarded as the son of God or as the son of man. So we know that this is not just something that comes about as an haphazard thingy. You just end up to say, no, I'm a prophet, I'm a son of God. No, it's not by mistake. So from what you've explained to say you need to have all the prophets in you for you to be regarded as the son of God. And that process for you to have all the prophets in you requires you to actually eat or consume the knowledge, the scriptures. You eat the scripture, and eventually those scriptures will eventually manifest into a reality. Like you mentioned, you made reference to the scripture of 1 John 1 verse 1 and verse 14. In the beginning there was a word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. And then verse 14, it mentions the fact that, and the word became flesh. So the scriptures that we consume eventually have to turn out into a manifestation of the reality. And when people look at us, they have to confess to say that, okay, this is a manifestation of God. And by then people will be able to make reference to us that we are indeed the son of God or son of man. And I think that's one of the amazing things that I've actually just come to appreciate on this particular platform today. And the other aspect I think was relating to the fact that when we're looking at the Bible, we don't have to look at it from a historical context, but we have to look at it from a futuristic context. Because if we're looking at it to say people were oppressed in the past, the children of Israel were oppressed, but even this time around we have people who are being oppressed. So what does it mean? Does it make the children of Israel special than we are today? So we have to relate to the Bible in a context of it being a futuristic book. Whatever happened is going to happen in the future. So I think those are things I think that you've just opened up our minds to say, when we're looking at the Bible, when we're reading the Bible, we don't have to read like it's happened in the past. This is something that is going to happen in the future. And thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mwape. Very Very good elaboration. Yeah, like we always say, the Bible is not a historical book. The Bible is a prophetic book. And you know, you are right when you say, like I said in the beginning, I was saying the concept of, okay, Dennis, yes, you can ask a question.
Yes, Rev. When after just following the session,
Yes.
I think what comes to mind is when you look at the way church is today and the way it has been set up. When we say that the Bible is a book of prophecy, something comes to my mind where I feel like the way the church has been aligned, with all these denominations that we have, and how it's organized, the services. Somehow you tend to feel that this might not be God's intention of how he structured church, or how he intended for us to be in relationship with him.
Yeah, true. Yeah, what you must know, Dennis, is that when I say Bible, I'm not saying Christianity. Remember, Bible was not written by the Christian. Bible means collection. And Christianity is actually, you are right, that idea was given to us by Rome. And Rome, remember, has an Adamic mind. And I told you, Adam cannot teach you God. So there you are. So if you go to some of the YouTube, you realize that you have made a lot of lessons on that. Because remember, the one who's representing Adam now is a white man. Maybe just to be blunt, a white man cannot teach you God, but he can teach you the physical world. You'll be a fool not to